Alright, Tekking101 here. This is my first One Piece review. And it's chapter 630, Lashing Out. And the title page for this one, it goes back to Logtown. And I don't know if any of you guys remember this. This is actually, I actually remember this character really well, because I really liked this character when they introduced him. It's Ippo Matsu. And he's the one that originally sold Zoro's two swords, Yubashiri and Katetsu, to him. He's the one that sold the cursed sword and the one that the sword that got destroyed in Ina's lobby with the Buster Call thing. Yeah, he's the one that sold him those swords, and apparently he plastered a picture of Zoro on the inside of the bathtub, on the inside of like the shower. It's kind of weird, but yeah, it's interesting having to see him. I haven't seen him in a while, but anyway, getting back to the chapter. The chapter goes through every town in Fishman Island, basically, just to go through what's going on in these different towns. It starts in Waterwheel Town. That's the town where Fukaboshi defeated Dosun, that shark fisherman, that hammerhead shark fisherman, the one that I really liked and the one that I thought was really cool, and he's the first one to get taken out. That's usually the situation. That happens later in the chapter, too, with one fisherman I really like. But anyway, so, yeah, Dosun's there, and the fisherman... I guess Fukaboshi left, and he chained up Dosun and all the other fishermen, his underlings. And Dosun's looking like really weak, like he's like his face is really droopy. He looks exhausted. So then all the residents that are watching them as they're chained up, they come up with the idea maybe we can use them as hostages for Hody. And Dosun just says no, that won't work because Hody doesn't care about us. If he found out we were hostages, he'd throw our lives away in a heartbeat. He doesn't care about any of us. So then there's this little joke where Dosun, his name apparently means like wham or bam or like, you know, a lot of power. And Kotsun means bump or thump, which is indicates that he's weak. And he keeps saying that, like Kotsun, over and over again. So that means he has no power. But then one of the fishmen spit a energy steroid into his mouth. And I guess he doesn't notice because... he keeps going on talking about, you know, the pride of, you know, the fishermen and how could you ally yourself with, you know, humans, how could you do that? And his power comes back eventually, and he breaks out of the chains, he gets all muscular, and, yeah, and he breaks out. And so basically, you know, Fukaboshi did absolutely nothing, because now he's back even stronger. So, yeah, that did nothing. I just found that hilarious. And plus, I like him. He's cool. My Hammerhead is my favorite kind of shark, so I really liked him. So, yeah, glad he's back doing stuff. Just more people for the Straw to beat up later in the final climax of the arc anyway, so I don't really care. So, yeah, he gets obviously pissed. He picks up, like, a wooden club or something. He hits a freaking building in half and, like, sends it flying, and he's like, I'm gonna beat up that damn Fukaboshi, and they'd all go charging, and his eyes are red, so, yeah, he's obviously pissed. Then we cut to, the other side of the island in the, what's this place at? The Coral Galka. That's the, I don't think we've been there before, actually. Anyway, so this is where Hyozu is, the that octopus, you know, the one that poisoned Luffy, but he didn't really poison him because, you know, he's immune. He's the one that, he's been hinted at that he's really strong and powerful, because he's the only one that when Luffy hit him with his jet pistol, and apparently he blocked it, or he was able to survive it. So yeah, he's the really strong dude, and he's like super drunk. He's like wasted, and one of the fishmen are trying to help him up, because they're all going to the plaza where Horty's going to execute the King Neptune. So they're all trying to get to this plaza, and he's drunk. And one of the fishermen's like, you can't even hold up a sword. He's like, yeah, I can hold up a sword here. So he holds up one sword, and just he cuts like all these people down. All of the new fisherman pilots he just cuts down. And apparently that's because he's called the what was it again? The Alcoholic Assassin. Pretty cool. So he cuts down all the fishermen around him, and he asks the residents if they want a piece of him too. And I don't really get that. I guess he's so drunk he just like cuts up whoever, you know, is around him. He doesn't really pay attention as to who is a friend or an ally or something. So actually, he's not really allied. Yeah, he's not allied with the fishermen. He's just like a hired assassin. So I don't think I think he stated he doesn't really have a preference either way. He just does whoever pays him the most. So then we cut over to the marine shopping mall. I think that's the same place that Nami was earlier. But then this fisherman gets attacked by like one of those. It's like a flying chain with the weights on the end. When they basically strangle you to death. They wrap around your neck or something. They get attacked by that, and apparently the attacker's invisible. And they mention that it's Zio. And apparently he's able to change his skin like a chameleon, which makes sense considering he resembled a chameleon. And I was excited because Zio is my favorite fisherman pirate because I don't know, I just really like the way he looks and the name. The name just reminds me of something from my childhood. I can't for the life of me remember though. Must be nothing. But in this one chapter, where every other member of the new Fisherman Pirates has been shown wreaking havoc across the Fishman Island, Zio shows up, he makes all these threats while he's invisible, and then he just stops talking, and then turns back into his normal state, and he's passed out. He's on the ground, covered in footprints. I guess he was invisible, and he was lying on the ground, so everyone was like on him or something, and he just passed out. So I was kind of disappointed in that because I really liked him, and that's how he gets taken out by a bunch of people being stepped on by a bunch of people. But whatever. And so yeah, I guess I'm not really concerned either because they'll just do the energy steroid with him too probably. So yeah, I don't think it really matters. So but then we cut to the Neptune brothers who are headed to the plaza to stop their father's execution, and they said they should be there in about an hour. And one of the brothers says that they asked if Shirahoshi's still in the tower, which I guess they don't know about her leaving yet. But yeah, they think she's still safe. So they're getting all the country's troops together and heading off to this plaza to stop the execution of the king. And meanwhile, at the Glovery Hills, yeah, we've been there before. The minister of the right and left are trying to stop this sea bear, which is attacking the town. And apparently this one's different because they know how to stop these sea bears or like the sea monsters and whatever. It's not working on this one in particular, so something's different about it. And they said sea beasts are afraid of fire, so they raise the fire. And Icarus Muchi's there, the giant squid fishman. He's also pretty cool, and he's freaked out by fire because apparently because he's a squid. If fire comes in contact with him, he'll turn into dried squid because apparently he used to be a friend with this other, like an actual giant squid named Didaros. And just one day he got too close to the sun and just turned into dried squid. So that's what he's afraid of now. He's definitely afraid of fire whenever he's around it. But also, he also has this really cool ability. He has these spears made of dried squid, and whenever he pierces with these spears, the spear turns back into a regular squid and sucks all the life out of whatever it comes in contact with. So that's a pretty cool ability right there. Then he has this. Then he proceeds to pound them flat with all his hands, and it turns them flat into dried squid. So that's his ability. He can turn things into dried squid apparently. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then Hody finally shows up riding a sea giraffe. Whatever. I'm fine with this. Sea giraffes, okay. So yeah, Hody shows up, but he's not showing himself, and everyone's wondering, and Icarus is wondering why hasn't Hody showed himself. And that's because apparently that wound from Zoro was like more severe than everyone thought, and to relieve the pain, he's been taking energy steroid after energy steroid, and apparently that's had a really negative effect on his body. His body's like being torn apart from the inside. And even Neptune says this. Neptune's like, yeah, the reason you're doing this is, the reason you're in so much pain is because you rely on those steroids too much. And he collapses on the ground in pain, and he's saying, I can't breathe. And the next shot is just, we don't see what happens to him, but one of the sea bears, who, apparently the sea bears, they're controlled by Hody, but they've never been this frightened by him before, and that's how the chapter ends. So apparently Hody Jones turned into this, I don't know, this really scary, super steroided up, creature or whatever. So yeah, that's how the chapter ends. Don't know what he looks like, but whatever. So yeah, we didn't get to see the Straw Hats in this chapter. That kind of bugged me, but because I really wanted to see what Brook could do with his new power, because I was really excited last chapter because out of all the Straw Hats, I was most curious about how could Brook have how could he have gotten stronger? And I really want to see more of that. But no, Straw Hats didn't appear in this chapter. But it was really cool. We basically get to see like the movement of what's going on here. And it's like a setup for all the different villains, who the Straw Hats are going to fight. Like basically, the Straw Hat, the One Piece basic arc plan is, we have a bunch of these enemies. Luffy beats up the strongest, which is going to, well, actually, you can't beat, Luffy beats up the strongest, Zoro the second strongest, Sanji the third strongest, and then, like, all the other, members are just portioned out throughout the Straw Hats. I don't know if this is going to be the same formula because it's after the time skip, and all the Straw Hats can basically kick ass in their own right at this point. But, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But it was a pretty good chapter. I liked it a lot. So we'll see what happens next chapter. My thoughts on that are just probably going to get to see what the Straw Hats are doing. Where they're at and where they're moving. They're probably going to head to the... I would assume that Jinbei and Luffy and all that, their group, they're going to head to the plaza to stop the execution. I don't know how Zoro and Usopp's and Brook's situation is in the plaza, but, in the castle all chained up, but I'm pretty sure they'll get freed because of Brook's abilities, so then they'll probably join them later. And, so yeah, we'll see that next chapter, but pretty good, I liked it. So, thanks for watching, Tekking101 signing out.